Today on In the Woodyard, we've got Deliveries. Time to get chucking. Beautiful day today. It's only about 60 degrees this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice that there's some clouds so it's not so hot. Well, I've got a bin back there that's got a bunch of mixed hardwood. We're going to put a full load on the trailer. I got someone that wants 2 face cords, 2/3 of a cord, 2 ricks, ranks, rows, trailer load full. So it fits this little trailer, which is 5 feet wide, 10 feet long. It is a 7,000 pound total capacity trailer. I can fit 2 face cords in it. So we're gonna, or 2/3 if you like to say that. So we're gonna dig in a pile back there. I've been digging through this pile back here. It's mixed hardwood. There's a variety of things in there. There is a lot of ash. There's a lot of soft maple. There's a little bit of oak, a little bit of cherry, a little bit of, well, quite a bit of elm. I saw a lot of elm in there. There was some aspen in there. It's just a little bit of everything. And for the people that I'm selling to this time of year, they pretty much all say the same thing. I just want good wood that will burn in a fire pit. Nothing special. They tell me that. It doesn't have to be oak, doesn't have to be cherry, doesn't have to be hickory. They're just saying whatever burns good in a fire pit. So that's kind of what I do with that stuff. It is the mixed hardwood, the stuff that's not the specialty wood is what I like to call it, which is your white oak, red oak, hard maple, cherry, hickory, beech, that kind of stuff. That stuff I keep separate because the people that want that really want that kind of wood. So I'm going to fill up the trailer right now, and then we're going to do a delivery later today, and then I'm going to come back and load it up in between my work schedule today with a single face cord, and then I got to deliver at the very end of the day for a single, which would be half a load. So we're going to do both of them today. What we have here is a load of wood, and I picked through and pulled out a whole bunch of stuff that I found as I was digging, pulling wood out, because I found lots of different kinds. Now, first thing I want to say is this pallet, that pallet, that pallet, it all collapsed this last winter. The thing is, though, it was old pallets I got from an old bin that I reconstructed, so they didn't hold very well. But it was no big deal because all the wood was still off the ground. It just fell onto it. And so I've been picking through it. Now, at one time, this whole pile here was like that. So I've been just kind of eating down into it, and I got lots of debris here. So this was wood that came from a job not too far from here that I bought, and there was a lot of mixed stuff in here. And when I processed it, I did a lot of it right up into the bin from the elevator. So a lot of debris went up, and lots of the bark came off because there's ash in here. There's a lot of elm in here. There was some popple, there was some basswood, there was hard maple, soft maple, a little bit of oak, a little bit of cherry, a little bit of apple wood. It was just everything that was in here. So I've been kind of picking through it, pounding the pieces off, so when I throw them in, they look better. It's like they've been through a tumbler, I guess, but this is sad that it looks like this. That's the ugliest wood I've got. You can see over here, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's if you do it right. It's clean. This is if it's not so clean. So a lot of guys that don't have tumblers and just throw everything into a big pile, that's what you get. So there is some wetness in some of that stuff as I pull it, because it rained yesterday. We got about 1 inch of rain yesterday, but I'm almost down to the bottom here. So then all the trash I'll clean out of here and get rid of it and then rebuild this whole thing. I've got oak down on that end. That right there is almost all ash. I've been pulling from that, and then in that hole there it was real clean. And the backside's real clean. It's just this area right here. I think what happened is I just wanted to get it done, and I threw everything up and into the elevator, trash and all. It just went in just to get it done. So as I was pulling wood out from this, you can see it looks pretty nice. I found a whole bunch of different kinds here, so I'm going to show you some of the variety of what was in here. So we're going to start on this end. So this right here is Satan wood. That is what it looks like. That is the bark. This is the inside. Here's one without any bark. You can see what it looks like, and that's the inside. And when I say Satan wood, I call it that because it is elm. It is extremely hard to split. The nice thing about elm is it's pretty good wood, number one. Number two, when you split it, it looks like this, very stringy. So you kind of got built-in fire starter right on it, so that works pretty good. So this right here was elm. The next stuff I got to show you is cherry. Now here's a piece of cherry that you can see by the color of it. It is cherry, but there's no bark on it. Here's one with a little bit of bark. so you can see what the bark of our cherry looks like. I know on the east coast or west coast it's different than this, but that's what our black cherry looks like. That's what it's called, black cherry. Had a piece fall down here to pick that up. That is a piece of hard maple. So that is hard maple. That's what the bark looks like. And here's a piece of soft maple or silver maple. See the difference. And maple is very hard to tell. A lot of people struggle with it, and I still do. Here's another piece of hard maple. So hard maple, soft maple. Now, even in the maple, depending on where you get the branches from, I mean the wood from, the branches can be real smooth, almost like beech or like this. This is a piece of bitternut here. So it can be real smooth, but then as it gets older, it starts scaling and you get the flaking off like that. But then hard maple is more like this. It's a tighter bark. It doesn't flake off in big sections. You don't have the big curly pieces come off of it. No, there's red maple, yellow maple, there's silver maple. They all kind of look the same. Silver maple has the most bark that comes off, I see. But the inside almost always looks the same. It has the same BTUs and everything. It's good campfire wood, so there's some maple. The next thing is a subspecies of maple, and that is this stuff. Very pretty, isn't it? This is box elder. And a lot of people say, oh, box elder, that's a trash tree. There's the inside. You can see a little bit of color there. But it has almost the same BTU as a soft maple, because it is a soft maple. It's a member of the soft maple family, or the maple family. So that is box elder. And there was a few of them in there. I saw there's another pink one I can see back there. Here's another piece of box elder. But you can see there's no bark on it, just a little bit of pink right here. But I know it's box elder just by the weight of it, because it's a little bit lighter. You can see the texture of it. It kind of looks like soft maple. The next one is applewood. This is applewood. Now this might have come from an actual apple tree. It might have come from a chokecherry tree, not chokecherry, crabapple tree. But that's what it looks like once it weathers and ages. It turns kind of a real dark brown. But on the inside, this is another one right here, that's what it looks like. So you can see there's the bark again too. The bark will look like that. Oh, I am wrong. I take that back. I thought these were both apple. They are both apple. This one's from an apple tree, or it could have been, like I said, a crabapple tree. This, now that I look at the bark and I see the inside of it, this is thorn apple. That's what this is. It's thorn apple. You'll see thorn apples, they're kind of a bushy tree, understudy tree. They grow little bitty red berries. They grow kind of along fence lines and stuff like that. Very slow growing, very hard, very dense wood. Apple wood is excellent. So we got thorn apple and regular fruity apple. There you go. Up here we've got some oak. Right here is red oak. It is red oak. I can see right there. And red oak bark can also vary quite a bit. It can be smoother on the younger parts of the trees, and it gets older, it gets a real deep type of a texture to it. This next one right here is a swamp white oak. No, it's not. This is the swamp white oak right here. You can see the bark, how it has, like, again, the scales, and it flakes off like this. So the difference. So this is swamp white oak. This is regular white oak, or what we just call white oak. It has a kind of a soft texture to it, but I can see by the inside it is white oak. And so is this white oak. And then this is red oak. So pretty similar. The next one, I only saw this one piece here. This is a piece of bitternut hickory. So this is hickory, very heavy, very dense, but it's bitternut hickory, which is a smooth bark hickory. That's another name they call it, because then there's also shag bark hickory, but this is the smooth bark bitternut. Pretty much the same BTUs. I saw a couple pieces of this. This is beech, or American beech, some people like to call it. It is a beech tree. There's only a little bit of that in there. Here's more thorn apple right here. So you can see the bark, and right here, look at here. This is the little branch, and there will be thorns on this. It's very picky. There's thorns on it. So thorn apple, that goes with the apple section right there. The next stuff right here is ash. So here's a piece of ash that's weathered and no bark. So it's kind of hard to tell. So as your wood ages, it gets harder and harder to tell as it turns gray. Here's a piece of ash you can see by the inside, and then if you look at the bark on the outside, this is ash. So ash, and then right here is another piece of ash. So the bark can vary from that to that, or even deeper grooves than that yet. As the tree gets bigger, more mature, the bark gets more prominent, more jagged, more deeper grooves. When it's young, it can be very smooth. I saw some young stuff in here somewhere. It's in there somewhere. There's some younger stuff, but that is ash. Another thing you can do to identify ash nowadays is if you look underneath the bark, you'll see these little lines all through it, and that's where the emerald ash borer is in there eating away the cambium layer. You can see a little bit of trail right there. So that's what that is. This next one right here, I don't know. I don't know what this is. What is this one here? Box elder. I don't know what this is. I think it's a piece of, I don't know what this is. Let me look under the bark. Oh, I think this is a piece of ash. Yeah, it's ash. Now that I look at this. Yeah, it's a piece of ash, just a younger tree. That's what that is. This is ash also. So that's how much it can vary. That's why I said it there, actually. It can vary from this to this to this. So this is all ash, and then it can be real smooth. Let's see if I can find a real smooth one in here, because I know there was some in here. I saw some. No, there's more box elder, more ash without anything on it. See, this is ash. You can see how deep the grooves are. This is ash. Here's another piece of ash right here. See the difference? But yeah, it's both ash. That's ash, and that's ash, even though there's that much difference. But I'm looking. Here's another one right here I can find up here. Here's another piece of ash. It's a nice piece of ash. See all the lines there? That's what the emerald ash borers do under the bark, and that's what kills the tree. So that's a good example of that. Here's another one right here. That's emerald ash borer do that. And what they do is they cut off the nutrients and moisture supply to the tree, and it kills the tree off. So that's what that is. Here's some soft maple, soft maple. Oh, here's another piece of apple wood right here. I think. Yep. Yeah, it's a piece of apple wood for sure. That's what that is. Well, there you go. That is the wood lesson for the day. Those are the things I found in there. I still didn't find a piece of ash. I'm still looking for the piece that is a smooth bark piece of ash. I don't see any here. Let me go up into the wood pile and look. Let's go take a look here. Here's another piece of thorn apple right here. Thorn apple. Let's go over here because I know there's more ash over in here. Let's go over this way. So here's cherry, cherry, cherry. Here's a piece of ash. See how deep the grooves can get? Extremely deep. Extremely deep. See, I'm just looking for a piece of ash that would have smooth bark on it from a piece of limb wood, but I am not seeing any. I'm not seeing any. This was all for some big stuff, that's why. Let's go over here and see what I can find. So I decided to come over to the pile next door because I couldn't find any smooth ones. We're gonna see here. Here's some soft maple. You can see how the bark, how smooth it is. Look at this. I think, yep, that means that it's dry. When the bark comes off that easy, but that is soft maple. Here's some ash right here, right here. So this is a piece of limb wood from ash. You can see it's starting to open up. Here's another one right here. That is limb wood from ash. And then here's another one right here where it's starting to already get checked. But yeah, some of the smaller limb wood you'll see. Piece of maple, more cherry, more maple. Here's a piece of ash right here. This is ash. See how it's just starting to kind of crack a little bit, but it's fairly smooth. So it can vary from this to this. So that's where it can be very confusing. Yeah, here's a piece of buckthorn right here. It's orange. This is buckthorn. And this is what the bark looks like. It's a bushy kind of a tree. It has a little black berries on it. Excellent firewood, but it doesn't get real big and it's nasty. It's very invasive. Here's another one right here. Here's another buckthorn. Very heavy, very dense wood. Almost looks like somebody would say, oh, it's Osage orange. No, it's buckthorn. So we got lots of it. And it doesn't usually get much bigger than like the size of your leg. That's a big one. Like size of your arm is more common. But there you go. All right. No more wood lesson. We're gonna go deliver the load of wood. So on this delivery, this is a long-time customer. He's like an ideal customer. He gets 2 loads every year. He gets a load for summertime and a load for wintertime. So he goes through just a little over a full cord. It's a full cord in a 30 year. And he just likes mixed hardwoods. So I just want stuff that burns good for campfire wood and then the fireplace. He stacks it right along his garage where you see the wheelbarrow there. He's got a perfect landing spot for it. Nice little paved area, which is awesome. And so then the next one, after I got done with that delivery, I stacked for the guy. He was there waiting for me. It's actually his mom's place, and he's got this rack that's 4 feet high, 8 feet wide, and he wanted a face cord, but I cleaned up a bunch of other stuff and threw it in, and he ends up, you'll see in the front of the rack how much extra wood he got. I got a little carried away, it looks like. I think he got a whole nother half of a face cord, so he's got about a half a full cord here. Look at this stuff stack up. So there you go, that's how much extra wood I gave him. It keeps coming, there's still lots more to go, and you'll see it here. And that's all I got for today, folks. Good night, Irene.